Hi there! You've found the 1001 Business Problems Solved with Microsoft Teams podcast. I'm your faithful hostess, Annie Rind. Today, part 2 of how to handle chat threads in which multiple topics run together. Last week, if you were here, you learned that many topics in group chats shouldn't be in chat threads to begin with. You learned that if you're discussing something of great importance, something that could be a great learning resource in the future, or just anything that could be of use to the team in the future, you should use the channel posts feature. I encourage you to go back to last week's episode, our 50th podcast episode, by the way, and learn all about channel posts and what they're for. But today, I want to cover those things that should be in chat, and more particularly, those messages you wish to review that are dozens or hundreds of messages higher in the chat thread. Once I tell you how this works, you'll very much appreciate the fact that all your conversations with another person or a group are neatly kept in a single chat thread. To find all previous messages with a keyword or phrase, simply open the chat thread and hit Ctrl F. For those who may not use keyboard shortcuts, you just hold down the Control key, then hit the F button. Then, type in your keyword or phrase and Teams will find the message or messages. If there are many, simply narrow by the approximate timeframe the message was sent. Trust me, this tool is golden. Of course, Microsoft may change the layout of the search results next week, but as of today, the search results appear down the right side of the chat window. They're neatly arranged by date, and when you click one of them, it jumps right to that message and includes all the context above and below. It is awesome. I wish Microsoft would place a handy search box at the top of the chat thread window so people don't have to learn about the secret Control F functionality. They're always improving Teams, so maybe that will happen soon. Now, what if you want to resurrect that message or discussion and discuss it more? All you have to do is hover over the chat message and click the little reply icon that shows in the pop-up box. The discussion will continue at the bottom of the chat thread. That's really all I have to say about that, because finding an old message in a long chat thread isn't hard at all if you know the secret Control F command. That means this would be a very short episode, except I thought of something else that you may find useful when it comes to chat. Do you have someone externally that you communicate with often? Are you comfortable enough with them to suggest a much more efficient means of communication than email? Since we're obviously big proponents of Teams around here, and because we coach business leaders on how to leverage Teams to make their organizations more effective, we always recommend to new clients that we conduct the entire project in a single Teams chat. Unless, of course, that external person or organization already heavily uses Teams. In that case, we often build an entire team site if the interaction warrants it. Building a team site and including external clients, suppliers, or others who work with you on a project makes such projects so much more efficient. To date, nobody has refused, probably because they are already in the mindset of leveraging Teams. Furthermore, not one client has wanted to go back to email. It has worked wonderfully for us. We often work with up to 10 clients at a time, which means all of our correspondence is in 10 chat threads. Everything we need is available in our chat window without scrolling. We never have to go dig through dozens or hundreds of emails to find something discussed in the past. So what does that mean for you? You may not have clients, but you likely communicate with someone on the outside of your organization. Every person you convince to move to Teams chat and away from email makes you and that other person much more effective and organized. And because I'm on a roll today giving you tip after useful tip, here's yet another. If your chat thread is with more than one person, you can add tabs across the top of the chat. What does that mean? Let's say you have a spreadsheet everyone references frequently or works on together. Click that little plus sign at the top of the chat thread. Add your spreadsheet and nobody ever has to navigate to that file again. It's always at the top of the chat window. This feature isn't yet available for one-on-one chats, but I imagine it will come one of these days. I've already sent feedback that I wanted to Microsoft, so if you can join me in sending them the same feedback, maybe they'll get right on it. They're actually pretty good about adding features or fixing things if enough people request it via feedback. And with that, I'm going to head on out. I hope it's a nice spring day where you are, but even if it's not, go play with the chat feature and fall in love with it. This is Annie, signing off.